guys, welcome back to She's in Her Apron. Today is Laundro-Chat. Yes, you guys liked this, the last one that I did, and I thought we could continue this. And also, I put on Facebook and Instagram for a post for you to put topics. I thought each week as I fold laundry with you guys that we can have a topic. Not, I mean, I'll answer questions, but like a topic on anything. So if you have a topic that we could all talk about and discuss in the comments civilly, leave it down below. It could be, you know, parenting, marriage, cooking, cleaning, organizing, any topic. Any topic. I just thought it would be fun. Also, in the fall, when the kids are back at school, I thought we could do some of these live each week. And I want to really give it a set day and time. So as I work out my schedule once the kids go to school and I find a rhythm, a day that works really good in a time, and I make sure I don't schedule anything in, that will be when I go live here on YouTube and we can fold laundry together and be live and chat. So that's what I'm hoping for. And I also want to do lives, not also folding laundry, but cooking and stuff, and we can cook together as well. So that is a hope of mine for when the kids go back to school. So let's make this happen, right? Okay, so let's start folding laundry and let's chat. So the topic for today is going to be parenting. It's a very broad spectrum. I got a lot of topics on parenting: toddlers, teens, college kids that already left the nest and have come back, dealing with difficult teens, how to motivate your teens. There are so many questions on this topic. And I am having a little prayer in my heart that I may be able to, I don't know, give you some good advice without giving too much of what we go through away. I'm very protective of my children, if you're new here, like fiercely. So, okay. I'm going to start with the teen question, and when they get older and they're spreading their wings and you feel like you have no control. Sometimes I feel like we've lost control of this train and there's some other conductor than us. So when it comes to the teens, we set up boundaries, and we do this with the little kids too, but when they were little as well, it's the same. You have boundaries as a toddler, right? Like, don't touch that, that's hot. Or can't, you know, you can't pass the sidewalk because that's the street and they get in trouble for it, right? Or you teach them that that's dangerous, or that fire is hot, and you know, you have to have boundaries, right? And same with our teenagers. So we always keep and try and strive to keep open communication with the kids. Always. We have one-on-ones with them even when they're so uncomfortable and they hate it. So, and I still have one-on-ones with my 19-year-old. If you guys don't know, we have 4 children. 19 years old, has already done a semester at college. She's back home right now working. And then we have a 15-year-old boy, a 11-year-old boy, and a 8-year-old girl. So we're out of the itty-bitty phase and we've entered this new phase, which is so fun but so challenging. So we tried to have one-on-one time with the kids where we sit and we chat, even if they're uncomfortable and they're hating it, but it's a chance for them to open up, and not in a demanding way. Okay, you could even, like, I love doing it on the bed and just sitting on the bed with them, but take it outside the home, have it in the car, go get a drink, like go get a soda, go get their favorite drink and put the music on and try to open up. It's gonna take a while for your kids to open up to you, and half the time what they're saying is half truth, all truth, or not true at all. So even if you know that what they're saying to you and you feel like they're opening up, but what they're saying to you is a complete BS, you want, and there's times where I'm like rolling my eyes like, dude, come on. But you want to validate what they're saying, and you want to validate how they're feeling, even if you know it's complete crap, because they're never going to come talk to you when they do want to open up to you. Okay, there was a subject that we were talking about with our son, And we know the answer, we knew the true answer, but he wouldn't give us the right answer when we were like, hey, or, you know, or have you experienced this or whatever. But he wasn't ready to be like, yeah, and for us to have that conversation. Not that he was going to be in trouble, but he just wasn't ready to have that conversation. And, well, the time came and we had that conversation and he told us the real story. And so now we, you know, it's not going to happen overnight, and you're going to want it to so bad. So there's that. And I might be on a whole tangent during this whole thing just because my mind races so fast. I have ADHD, so just bear with me, okay? I might remember and come swinging back. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we create boundaries for our kids. We create opportunities for them to come talk to us and open up to us. Does it happen all the time? No. But at least they know that we are open. There are times where I want to be like, what? But I can't. I have to hold it together or they won't come talk to us. You need to have your freak out after, okay? My friend, she told me an idea that she has done with her teens where it didn't work for one of my kids. It didn't work, but it works great for her girl. What it is she had this notebook and she said, we can talk to each other through this notebook. Like, you could tell me anything that's bugging you, bothering you, something good that happened, fun, whatever, and I will respond back and write. And there's a spot that they put the notebook in so they know if they wrote. So when she reads it, and if it's something that her daughter is expressed that she's mad about or anything, she has time to react in another room. She could be like, what the, you know, or cry or be shocked and have all of that out away from her daughter. So she has time to compose, think about what she said, let it sink in, find the answers, and then write it to her. Because if she wrote it in that moment, or if her daughter told that to her in that moment and the daughter saw her expression, they will clam up. So you got to put your game face on, okay? You need a game face. If you don't have a game face, you need to find one, okay? I have learned over the years that I need a game face on. Freaking out on the inside, but I got my game face on. Because your kids can read you very well. They know all your quirks and things. Remember when you were a kid or a teenager, you knew which parent to go to about something. If you were going to confess to something or want to open up about something, you knew exactly which parent to go to on that subject. Okay? I knew what I could go to my mom about and what I could go to my dad about. Yeah. They can read you very well. So you need to practice a game face. Even with your toddlers, you need to practice your game face. Okay, so, and one thing that always gave me away was rolling my eyes. I did it as a teen, I did it to my parents, and I did it with my toddlers and with my kids as they were growing up. And I noticed that, man, you want to put a wall between you and your kid, roll your eyes. So I have learned that I cannot roll my eyes. Okay? I envision me rolling my eyes, but I'm staring right at them. And blink. Do lots of blinking. And you need to maintain your composure. Sometimes they want the fight out of you. I feel like I'm folding the same shirt over and over again. How many times have you seen me fold this shirt? There's 3 of the same shirts, all in different sizes. Oh, Derek must have got all the kids' BYU shirts. Because I'm like, am I losing it? Okay, what was I saying? Shoot! I'm getting distracted by the shirt and I can hear the kids yelling downstairs at each other. I don't want to have to rewind this. Give me a second. I lost it. Rewind. Sometimes they want the fight out of you. I have one child that wants the fight out of you sometimes. Not all the time. They want that. Because they are so mad that they want to get you on the same page as them so they could be like, ha! Or, you know, it's all psychological warfare, basically. So, I have learned through the years, we have family therapists, so both of them taught me that I have to keep my composure, that I have to have a game face on, and I have to remain calm. Firm, not a pushover. Firm, but calm. I am a very loud person. And Derek has tamed this over the years, okay? Derek is amazing. I have calmed down over the years. I'm still a loud parent. Do I yell? Yeah, I do yell. Not all the time, but I yell. I get to a point. I'm like a boiling pot of water. I'll start off still, and then it simmers, and then I boil, and then I'm like really boiling, and yeah, like spewing hotness. Seriously. I have a boiling point, and then I explode, okay? Then I'm mad, and then it's like game over. It's hard. You need to find a way to vent and get all the frustration out. It's either going for a walk, or working out, or putting your energy into a craft or a hobby or YouTubing. Things like that. I have to put my energy into something, or the anxiety will just take over. So when your teen is being difficult, that is when some of the time I have felt for me that I need to shut my mouth and open up my ears more. Time to get your Dumbo ears out, basically, because all they want is to be heard and validated, even if everything they're saying is a bunch of like, is like, come on, okay? They just want to be heard, okay? I go through this every day. Then it depends on the situation. They're not always asking for help. They're not always asking for you to rescue them. They just want to say it and be heard and be validated. If the situation is warranted for my advice, I will give it. And then if not, I'll be like, well, try it. See how it goes, see how that works out for you. And inside I'm like, see how that will work out for you. Okay. That's what I want to do half the time, but you can't, okay? Be encouraging. Even if you know they're going to fall and fail, be encouraging, because there are too many parents that are helicopter parents. Too many. We have to have them learn to fall, face the consequences, and we will be there to pick them up and help guide them back up in the right direction. We let our children fall a lot, okay? A lot. There have been nights and days where Derek and I are in tears, where we are so worried, where we're like, we want to fix everything for them, but we can't. So when your teen wants to make a decision that is not the best, or they're with friends that you don't approve of, or that they're going to be in a situation that is not good and could get them in trouble, you say, Derek and I will say, hey, if you want to make that decision and do that, that's your free will. But here's the consequences to those decisions. The choice is yours. We always throw it back to them as the choice is yours. Because one, it takes the pressure off of you and puts it in their hands. So when a situation comes up and they have to face the consequences, you say, oh man, we would say, oh man, that really sucks. That stinks. That stinks, man. Well, here's the consequences, And if they get mad at you, be like, I didn't choose this. Your dad and I did not choose this. You chose this. See what I'm saying? So we always are giving it back to them, and it's in their hands. And it is hard to sit back and go, oh, they're not going to pick the right way. Oh, God. And it's so hard to sit back and watch. But you got to. Because how are they going to learn? And how, because when they make that mistake and they go through the consequences, the next time they'll be like, oh, this is what happened to me last time. They'll think about it. Sometimes it takes them 3 or 4 times, and you do the same thing again. You and your husband, your partner, whoever, I hate being PC, but whoever, you got to be on the same page. Now, if you're a single parent and it's hard, you might want to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with your ex. And if communication is not good, I've heard comments about that, and you guys can't get on the same team, then in your home, this is how it is. And that's how you parent. But if you can get on the same team with your spouse, your ex, whomever, and make a game plan, it will help, because they will play the both of you so hard. So my kids try with us, but Derek and I are on the same front all the time. I will text him, I will call him at work, okay, here's the situation, what's our game plan? All the time. I have locked myself in a closet, I have locked myself in the room, I've locked myself in the pantry, I've locked myself in the car, and had conversations with Derek, texts with Derek, like, here's what's going down, what's our game plan? Because sometimes it could be the same scenario that comes up and we already know what we're going to do. We already know because we made a game plan. But with the teens, with the older kids, things come up all the time. And I could be like, what's our game plan? And I'll be like, well, I don't agree with that, but I like this. We'll come up with a compromise, okay? And sometimes as parents, we gotta make the wrong decisions too. Like, sometimes I'm like, no, Derek, no, we have to do it this way. And, you know, like, no, that's not gonna work, you know, and I will choose to go one way. And you know what? Sometimes that blows up in my face. Well, okay, that sucks. And I'll be like, shoot, we should have gone the way that Derek said, or vice versa. We're learning too. This parenting thing is super hard. So we're learning too, like, all right, that didn't work. And each parenting style and discipline style could work for one kid, but not for the other kid. People, outsiders, if they were to be a fly on my wall, they might say, oh, they favor that kid. They favor that kid over this kid. They discipline this kid harder than this kid. No, all my kids have the same consequences, but we go about it very differently. Some kids we cannot be very forceful and rushed with. We have to be very thoughtful and methodical and explain it, show it, be firm, or they will freeze up, it won't work. It's like we can't get anywhere. Other kids, you need to be bold, firm, like my friend Kat from Fly Lady Cat, firm but kind. And with one of my children, I have to be firm and kind. Even if this child blows up in my face, and believe me, I have had children in my face, I call it bearded up, like in my face. And I had to be calm. I pray to Jesus in that moment and I say, I need your strength right now. And I always get it. And you have to be firm but kind. Because like I said, sometimes they want the fight with you. And you can't give it to them. Okay? And it will exhaust you. Your anxiety might go up. Your when you go to bed at night and you put your head on that pillow, you're going to be so exhausted physically and mentally. And I know a lot of you deal with challenging kids. Some of you have said that you have children with autism, children with special needs, children with RAD. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And I understand children with ODD. I understand children with RAD. I don't understand children with autism or Asperger's, but I understand what you go through with tantrums, with the disturbances that happen. When I say trust me, please believe me, trust me. I don't talk about these things on YouTube. I don't go into them. But one day, I might open up to you guys and you will understand why I am the way that I am, why I parent the way that I parent with Derek, and you'll go, oh. But I understand what you're going through. But the biggest thing I could say is parent with love, parent with kindness, take a breather before you react, set up boundaries, set up consequences, and have opportunities for communication with your kids. There are times where we can be so stressed, at least for me, when I get stressed and I get angry and my anxiety is up, I want to shut down, close up, ignore you, and I can't, because my children can feel that. I have one child who can read body language so well, okay? And I can't be that way, or I'm not going to get anywhere. And it's going to take practice. It really is. Toddlers are the same way. There's consequences to their actions. I don't do well with tantrums. One of the comments that I got was, how do you deal with tantrums? Oh, honey, I don't. I don't deal with whiny kids. I don't like whining. You do get in trouble. There are consequences for whining. There's ways of telling me how you feel, and there's ways of expressing how you feel, and it's different for toddlers because they're limited on their communication. But there's ways that they can communicate without being disturbing the whole force. And when I mean disturbing the force, I mean disturbing the whole family. Even teenagers. Sometimes consequences that they get can disturb the whole family. And you got to be careful. Whatever consequences you give, you better be able to go through with. For example, when one of my kids were young, we were at Oma and Opa's pool, and it was time to get out of the pool. And they wouldn't get out of the pool. And I said, come on, it's time to go. We need to get out of the pool. And they wouldn't. And this child stood very firm in the pool in between the deep end and the shallow end, right in the middle. And I said, child, this was after at least 3 or 4 attempts. If you don't come nicely out to me right now, I will come in and get you, and you will not have ice cream with all your cousins that Oma is preparing right now. And one of the uncles said, oh, come on. You're not going to do that. And I looked at the uncle and I said, if I said it, I'm doing it. Now, I want you to know that I was pregnant with one of my children at this time. Well, this child stood there firmly in their spot and looked at me like, do it. Game on. Took off my shoes, walked into the pool, because it was a walk-in pool, with all my clothes on. And I marched into that pool, took that child, grabbed their towel, walked them all the way up into the house, onto the deck, and sat that child there. And got to watch all cousins have an ice cream. And Oma was like, can this child have an ice cream? And we said, no, they may not. And that was hard. And this child cried and cried and cried. And I was wet. And I don't remember what I did after that. We must have gone home soon after. I have no idea. I have no idea. But I was wet. I probably just stayed outside and dried while the rest of the kids swam. I have no idea. So, whatever consequence you give, you better be ready to deal it out. Because if a child knows that your consequences, well, not a threat, but if your consequences are, you're not going to follow through, they own you. They own you. So, from an early age, Derek and I have to follow through with every consequence. So if you say, you know, if you don't do da-da-da-da-da, or if you do da-da-da-da, we're not going on that trip. We're not going. Come on, you got to think real here. Like, are you not going to take... Basically what I'm saying is, don't let the other kids suffer for the family's consequences. If it has to be that way, and you need to follow through that way, then do it. But, it's sad when the other kids get punished for another child's actions. It's so hard. It's so hard. So if you are going somewhere or gonna go do something as a family, like, don't say, hey, if you don't do this, or if you do this, we're not gonna go see that movie as a family. That sucks with the other kids. So you could say something like, if you go through with this or do this, whatever, da-da-da, I will get a babysitter for you, and you will stay home with the babysitter while the family while the rest of us go to a movie. Do you see what I'm saying? So be very careful and thoughtful how you do it. We have learned the hard way. So parenting is hard, you guys. Like, it's so hard. But sometimes we just have to take a moment to just stop and breathe and think about, you know, what is this child going through? Like, their world is so different than ours. And their world is so different from when we were teenagers. Like, the stuff that my kids are going through now with phones and social media, we never had to deal with that growing up. Okay? So it's a new parenting world for us. And like, I'm so glad that I wasn't raised in the land of cell phones and social media. Like, we just started, like when I was in high school, AOL and chat rooms, you know, that I could not imagine. My friends and I, we videotaped ourselves all the time. I have VHSs of us girls messing around and doing things like, I have the edited version, so when my kids watch them, it's the edited version. Kelly's got the unedited version. And to think that if we had social media when that came, you know, oh my gosh. And we could have a whole other topic, a whole other laundry chat about social media and kids. And I do want to have this discussion. But, so we got to think about what they're going through. You know, bullying has changed now with social media and things. Your kids are going through a lot. A lot. Different than what we went through as kids. So we need to take a minute and try to see their world through their eyes. And, you know, sometimes we think, oh, don't overreact, or, oh, it's not as bad as that, you know. Well, it could be for them. It's their world. It's what they're living. And and we need to be sensitive to that, and we need to take the time to listen. And it's hard. Parenting is hard, but it can be so fun. You guys, I've had, despite like the hard times, I've had some amazing moments with my kids through it too. You know, when the dust settles and the yelling stops and the crying stops, and like, we've had some great moments. And if I had to go through the hard to get that moment with that kid, then, oh my gosh, it was worth it. It was worth it. It was worth me binging on ding dongs and Coke, dirty Coke. It was worth it. It was worth it. So, I hope I'm not rambling too much on this subject, but I just want you to know I get it. I so get it. So now, I have a 19-year-old daughter, okay? She has already done a year of college. Now she's living at home. I don't want to tell her what to do, but she's living in my home now. So Derek and I create rules and boundaries with her. There's still a curfew. There's a certain time that she needs to be home by. There's still, especially when she's using our vehicle. Yeah. If you're borrowing our vehicle, you need to obey and follow. A lot of you were like, how are you dealing with her having a boyfriend and going on that trip she went on this weekend and being with her parents? You know, we've taught our children, you know, things that could keep them safe, and my children know about sex. They know the dangers of it. They know, you know, what to do if they decide to have sex. You know, we've laid it all out for them. And so this free will is hard. Our kids have choices that they can make, and they just have to, like I said, deal with those consequences. But our job is to teach them, right? So with my daughter, you know, going to her boyfriend's house and he lives with his parents right now. He just finished college, and, you know, going on those trips, we've even sat down and said, you know, we hope that you guys would sleep in, you know, not in the same bed. You know, you just basically, you teach your kids, and that's all we could do is teach them. But it's their free will, and they just have to deal with the consequences of those actions. So yeah, it's hard. Parenting is hard, but it can be so wonderful. You know, I keep a gratitude journal in my room, and I write down the good moments in the day, because we could so focus on the bad and the negative, and that we think that's all there is, but there's so much good in there. And I will go away with this with you. The biggest thing from all this is praise them when they're doing good. Praise them when you see them doing something every day. Because sometimes they feel that we only focus on the negative with them, and they feel like they could be bad kids. So every day when you see them doing something, even if you just had a huge blowout with your kid, find something, see something good in them that day, and praise them. It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing. Well guys, thank you so much for staying with me as I fold the laundry. I'm gonna get the kids and have them come get their stuff. Thank you so much. I want to continue these. Please leave your topics down below and join the conversation, but be kind or I will delete your comment. Sorry, my battery died. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Let's have a conversation down below, but please be kind and respectful. All right guys, thank you so much. We'll see you later. Happy folding. Bye. Hi, come grab your clothes. Come grab your pile.
Where are they?
This is yours, and if I find anything else, I'll put it. Oh wait. There you
There's
go.
some semi-sweets.
Okay, Shaylee, here is your pile and your pile here. Boston!
And that's my pal.
Oh, are these yours?
No.
Oh, no, that's Sissy's. All right.
Or Boston's.
All right, here's your 2 piles.
And did I wear this shirt for?
There's an extra shirt. I thought Daddy got it for you. It's a BYU shirt. Beans!
Boston has one.
Okay, make sure you get them in your drawers, the right drawers.
And I'm going to put them in my new drawers.
Yes,
See them in the
yes,
closet.
there are new drawers. Here's your pile right here.
I'm going to get my nail pal.
Come. All right. Make sure they get in your drawers. Love you. Okay. Bye-bye.